Welcome to Horrify Environment. If you are new here, you can subscribe our channel. We upload daily horror videos. There was a unique tradition once at a time in a small town tucked away in the woods. The people in the town got together every Thanksgiving to have a lavish feast in honor of a plentiful harvest. But beneath the celebrations, something evil was waiting to be discovered. The town was called Oakwood, and it was charming with its tall trees and little homes. Everywhere you looked was the aroma of fall, and the air was crisp. The residents of the town were a close-knit group united by shared history and customs spanning many generations. The excitement for the Thanksgiving meal rose as the days became shorter and the leaves turned golden. There were celebratory decorations in the town plaza, and families were cooking their best delicacies. But in the midst of all the enthusiasm, there was also a sensation of dread, like a shadow moving through the forest. Emily, a young girl, was one of the townspeople. She was naturally inquisitive and constantly looking for adventure outside of Oakwood's comfortable boundaries. Emily was unable to resist the forest's pull in spite of the advice from her elders, especially on Thanksgiving Eve. Emily sneaked out of her house and into the woods the evening before the feast. Twisted branches and tangled foliage were illuminated by the moon's unsettling glare. The woodland seemed to come alive with every stride, whispering secrets of its own. Emily was lost in the maze of trees when she came upon an ancient, run-down home tucked away in the forest. Its doors groaned menacingly in the wind, and its windows were boarded up. Emily was nervous, yet she couldn't help but be drawn to the cabin by some unseen power. She pulled open the door with shaky hands and entered the inside darkness. The floorboards creaked beneath her feet, and there was a lot of dust in the air. Emily's eyes adjusted to the low light, and she saw a table laid for a feast. However, this was no typical feast. Emily's stomach turned at the bizarre, hideous delicacies that covered the table. Roasted meats with strange bones poking out of the meat and bowls full of a thick, viscous liquid that had an almost autonomous pulse. Emily was about to run away when she heard footsteps coming from the shadows. A silhouette appeared, shrouded in shadows, its eyes gleaming like highly polished obsidian. It was the town elder, a man respected for his unyielding adherence to tradition and severe manner. He said, "You shouldn't be here, child," in a way that made Emily shudder. This is a place of forbidden knowledge, where the old ways still hold sway. Emily opened her mouth to speak, but her voice became stuck. Beneath the elder's words, she sensed a danger that threatened to engulf everything in its path. A darkness. The older man moved forward, and Emily's intuition took over. She turned and ran, suddenly full of courage, running deeper and deeper into the forest, the elder's angry yells resounding behind her. Emily staggered through the night for hours, her heart racing in her chest. However, the forest appeared to go on forever, its winding paths taking her in loops no matter how far she ran. Just when Emily thought there was no hope left, she happened onto a moonlit clearing. A massive oak tree with limbs that resembled gnarled fingers grasping at the sky stood in the middle of the space. Emily was so exhausted that she sank beneath the oak tree, her body quivering with tiredness and her breath raspy. She had nowhere else to go. She begged for morning to arrive as she closed her eyes, for the first rays of dawn to drive away the blackness that threatened to engulf her. However, when Emily woke up, she was back in the town square with all of her old friends and the aroma of roasted turkey filling the air. She looked about, confused and disoriented, but there was no evidence of the elder or the prohibited cabin. Emily couldn't get rid of the uneasy feeling she had when the town's residents assembled for the Thanksgiving meal. Beneath the surface of custom and festivity, a darkness lurked, ready to grab hold of anybody who ventured to challenge its authority. Emily couldn't help but wonder what other mysteries lies beneath Oakwood's surface, just waiting to be discovered by those daring enough to walk into the unknown as she took her seat at the table.